What up, Blair Bear? No, you can't go inside the house. So what's up, guys? We out here. It is a Friday, and yes, I'm not at work because I had to work on a holiday, so they gave me my Friday off, which is pretty dope. Buddy's back here somewhere, probably playing with the other dogs. But oh, I can't show you that. I haven't filmed anything. That's I'm really sorry. I have not filmed a lot. I've just been really busy, and I wanted to hurry up and get it done. But it turns out we're gonna have to redo some things that I did, which sucks. But the motor's in the 240. I know. I'm sorry I didn't film it. I know. Jeez, give me a break. I'm a little dirty. Yeah, the motor's in the 240. It fits in there real nice. And what I mean by I'm gonna have to redo some things. When I put the rockers on, the bolt goes all the way through, which in then turn put some metal shavings in the valves, and then when we turn the motor over, I think they went to the piston, and I had to cut the hood and fiberglass. I mean, I tried to seal it up as much as possible, but fiberglass did get into the head. So and just because that little aluminum shavings, they were kind of, there was only like 2 or 3 in one or two of the cylinders, but I don't want anything to go wrong with this motor, so we're gonna go ahead and take the heads off after we get done cutting the hood. The hood does fit pretty much. Oh, I don't know if that's gonna fuck it up or not. It is. Okay. Get this real quick. Well, it did fit. No, it don't. Oh, it's because I got the fucking connector on there now. Well, anyway, without this plugged in, I'll have to shave that some more then. Without this plugged in, the hood goes down. But you might be asking yourself, what about the intake? Am I just gonna put a filter on the intake manifold? Absolutely not. I will not be doing that. I will actually have a full intake come down. It'll come down this way, like down, and then come over here. It's really a tight radius. I actually have it cut up. Over here we have a bunch of, you know, like pie cut shapes. It's gonna be like that, and then, you know, like that, and straight, and blah blah blah. I also got my Woodward steering column. I was gonna use this in the Z, but as you guys know, the Z is a long way away. We're gonna try to see if we can't put this in the car. I think it might be a little too long. I'm not too sure, but you know, we can always shrink that in. It's not suggested. This is here to collapse if you get in a wreck, but might have to shrink it a little bit to put the electric motor on there. Yes, we're running an electric motor for steering. If that doesn't work on there, then we're going to cut the steering probably about right there, put the motor in, be done with it. But yeah, I'm gonna wait till I get the motor before I start cutting on anything. But yeah, motor's in the car. Trans is also in the car. I'll lift it up for you guys. Also, I'm not gonna weld that. I tried to weld some pieces right over here. It turned out terrible. I can weld steel. I can TIG weld steel a little bit. I can MIG weld it pretty good, but I cannot TIG weld aluminum yet. And we also have these AND fittings that I'm gonna have to, I'm taking these today to go get welded, and I'm gonna take these to get welded on the radiator. And these are little like female threaded deals. They're gonna get welded too. They're gonna one up here and one down below. That way we can actually mount the radiator in the back. But yeah, let me lift it up for you guys, and oh, that's the wrong button. Show you what we're working with. DC Racing, Works, Precision Drive Shaft. Okay, so the oil pan is in. It hangs a it hangs a little higher than the exhaust, so I mean that's a good thing. I think it sits level with the transmission. I think this hangs lower on the trans, but yeah, we made this little plate for the flywheel to try to keep dirt out of it. The headers are in, Y pipe's in. I'm gonna have to take the Y pipe off though, because we're gonna put a O2 sensor right there. These are gonna be for my wideband. I have a wideband that reads bank A and bank B, and then we're gonna put a bung right here for the Holley terminator setup. But yeah, transmission's in. It sits farther back than it used to. It used to sit perfectly flush with the KA, but with the LS it sits a little further back, which is okay. I wanted the motor back as far as we could get it. FDF stuff is in. Last time you guys seen it, I actually had it on backwards. There's no instructions on how to install this, so I was just kind of winging it. And yeah, now it's in there correctly. I had these arms flip-flopped, and I also had this one, this shorter one, medium one, and this long one were swapped. So yeah, but now it's in there, it's all fixed. Yeah, drive shaft's over there still, waiting. I gotta send my axle flanges off to get converted to 350Z axles, and then I gotta put the gears in the rear end, and then it's good to go. But yeah, this is the ISR motor mounts. You can probably see this one better. Motor mounts and trans mount. It didn't fit perfectly, so we had to slide it a little bit. But yeah, it fits good now. And the steering rack is now converted to a manual rack. That way I can run the electric motor on my steering. But yeah, also got the AccuSump in. And it's gonna be, oil lines are gonna come from here, and then it's gonna reach the oil filter. Oil filter is gonna be probably up in here. And it's gonna go from the oil filter to the oil cooler to the AccuSump, and then the AccuSump back from the motor. Of course it'll go through the filter again. Oh, no, it probably won't. No, it won't. But yeah, that's the whole car. We're getting there, I'm gonna drop this aluminum stuff off to get welded up, and my fuel cell should be here. It should ship the 28th. Today's the 21st. I have a fuel cell, or fuel safe fuel cell with a Radium Engineering fuel surge tank. So I'll have 2 pumps in the surge tank, and then 1 in-tank pump. It's all internal, but I'll have 1 pump in the actual fuel cell itself feeding the surge tank, then the 2 surge tank pumps feeding the motor, and then the excess will go back to the surge tank. That way it ensures the surge tank is always full. You might be asking why we have 3 fuel pumps in total. Only 2 of them are feeding the motor. 1 of them is feeding the other 2. The reason we're running 2 fuel pumps in the surge tank is because we're making 700 horsepower and we need a lot of fuel. So, and we're running E85. So E85, you really need a bigger fuel pump to make the same power on E85 as you would a 91, because 91 flows, I don't know why, I don't know the whole science behind it. 91 flows easier than E85. Maybe the ethanol is a little thicker, I'm not too sure. But yeah, so if you want to make 700 horsepower on 91 octane, it gets you a big single fuel pump. If you want to run 700 on E85 with the same fuel pump, you're not going to, if that's the max of the fuel pump anyway. So generally you want to get a bigger fuel pump if you're running E85. So that's why we went with 2 fuel pumps. And they're Aeromotive Stealth 340 fuel pumps, which should be good enough to power this. We had a AEM 380 fuel pump that was making, we made like 400, like close to 70 horsepower, 420 something, 450, I don't know what it was. We weren't on a 1-to-1 gear ratio, and we made 420, so it was probably up in the 450s to 70s. And that fuel pump, it could have kept going. But we're making 700 horsepower now, so yeah. Also, they changed the rules to the Pro-Am. I'm not very happy with it. I understand why they changed it for safety reasons. You know, they want you to have a bunch of SFI stuff now, which is okay. I'm cool with that. But you couldn't have told us in like December, November-ish. You dropped this on us fucking the last day of January, pretty much February, when I've already spent half of my budget. Actually, I've spent more than half my budget on this car. I don't know if it'll be done for the first event. It probably won't. But yeah, like you couldn't have told us. So now in order for me to run Pro-Am, I need to get an SFI Halo seat, which I wanted to get anyway, but I didn't know if I was going to because money reasons. But now I'm gonna have to get one to run Pro-Am. SFI seat belts, which I already have. I have to have a full fire suppression system, which is gonna run me like $700. I have to have an SFI shift boot. I read the rule book. Someone told me I had to have an SFI bell housing for my trans, which I was gonna be pissed off at because I just put this motor in the car. But I read the rule book and I didn't see anywhere where it said I had to have an SFI bell housing. So I'm just gonna see what happens. I'm not gonna get one because that's like another $750 that I don't have. Yeah, but I have to get a full race suit. I have to get a Hans device, arm restraints. This car is not even close to done and it's fucking February, almost March. Like, that's a lot of more money. So I'll hold off on all the SFI stuff like the fire suppression and the shift boot. Probably I might get the shift boot just because it's like 20, 30 bucks. It might be 50, I don't know. Might hold off on it until it gets closer to that time to run Pro-Am, because I just don't have the money to go out and spend that. I want to get this thing running. I want to get it driving. I want to drive it. I miss driving. I miss drifting. So that's the plan. But yeah, and if anybody wants some ISR 350Z/G35 headers for a LS swap, I have some. I was gonna put them in the Z. They're brand new in the package, never been opened. We got the gaskets too. I was gonna put them in the Z, but kind of changed plans. So I don't know if I'm gonna put them in the Z anymore. Also, we got this nice little bolt band going on. All these red bolts that you've seen on the like the transmission cross member and the bell housing, those are actually grade 8 metric bolts. And then these are, you know, American bolts, all the regular ones. So that's kind of cool. That way we can distinctify which one's a metric and which one is American. Yeah, we got these pretty cheap at Woods, I think it is. And they even come with like, you get little red washers, lock washers, nuts. So yeah, we got a little bolt band going on. I think that's about it. We got a tire rack that we're building. I got this tire rack where I think this is where we're gonna put the bar. I don't know. I need to get tires and mount them on my wheels so we know exactly how far. I think this is where we're gonna keep it though, which is 18 inches. We'll put the tires here, then we'll have like a bar going through. That way we can lock it. Then we might drop this down some and you know, put some tools in here or something. I don't know what else we can fit in here. We can't really fit any gas jugs in there. But yeah, it's our tire rack. It's gonna go on the trailer. That way, when I'm going to Texas and Houston, because we're gonna go through a lot more tires with this LS setup. We didn't really go through that many tires with the KA setup, which was shocking. But I think because the KA kept breaking, we would get tires real hot and then it would break. So then the tires got to cool down. That way we got a good heat cycle on the tires. Not intentional, but we got a good heat cycle on the tires. And those tires, those s13 tires lasted fucking forever. I think we finally blew them out on Daniel's car. Those tires lasted me 8 events, and they lasted Daniel close to 3 or 4 events. You know, Daniel's car, we just go out there and fucking rip on it. And we just keep going until the thing blows up. But it hasn't blown up yet, which is surprising, shocking. But yeah, those tires got a good heat cycle on them. So I mean, they lasted. I never went through a pair of tires on the KA, on the new setup, the built motor. But I guarantee we're gonna go through some tires on this LS setup. Guaranteed it. But that's all I got for you guys. Just a quick update. I know I've been gone for a while. My computer had some issues with it. I'm pretty sure I got it fixed now. So I'll be uploading a lot more regularly. So that's it. Peace. I'll catch you guys later.